This On, Season 7, Episode 25, where we watch Physical 100, Season 1, Episode 1. And this is where we have the pre-podcast, before the podcast, where we're going to eliminate 50% of the people, but kind of not eliminate. I'm very confused. I'm Chris Lorenz.
We could kill if we were asked to. This is Brian.
Tarzan's here too. This is No Singer.
Annyeonghaseyo. This is Max.
Ooh.
Those are all references to the show we watched this week. But last week, 3 weeks ago, we've been off for a bit. We watched Perfect Match, and we had a poll on Twitter at Who Put This On, and you guys voted that show a top third. Not necessarily what we thought, but glad to see the audiences out there telling us what you thought. You thought about this show on the poll on Twitter at Who Put This On. Noah, what was this show?
100 contestants in top physical shape competed in a series of grueling challenges to claim the honor and cash reward as the last one standing. Physical 100 on Netflix. Da-doom.
Thank you, Noah. So this show's been out for a bit. It's just like a straight up competition. It's like, it's kind of interesting because it's like all these Koreans that seem to be really popular. Like people that have won Olympic gold medals and are like national or like world champs in boxing are like all competing in this like strongman competition kind of.
Well, so something the description misses is the point of the show is to find the quote-unquote perfect physique. So perhaps the most well-rounded physique. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting premise where you have, cheerleader physique versus arm wrestler physique versus so on and so forth.
Like Navy SEAL kind
Yeah.
of physique.
Yeah, they really are all in on the physique angle. At least at the beginning, like maybe the show gets much more into competition, but they spend a half hour on everyone's physique.
So let's talk about this beginning of the show.
Oh my god.
The beginning of this episode, like people just start walking into this room with busts of 6-pack abs. Every bust has a 6-pack ab, and like everyone walks in and they stand next to their bust, and they just say they give a brief synopsis of who these people are, and then like they all say hello to each other, and that goes on for literally 30 minutes.
Sometimes they'll whisper to each other, "Oh, he's a, chess teacher from YouTube or some shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it's people walking in, "Hello. Hello. Oh, I'm scared of this guy." Next person walks in, "Hello." Yeah.
Oh, I know him. I watched him on YouTube yesterday.
This is Chris's nightmare.
Yeah, Max definitely said this, and I definitely ended up fast forwarding. I watched like 10 minutes of this, and I was like, I'm going to turn this off. So I'm just going to fast forward.
Yeah,
and
you really missed nothing.
I'm going to be honest with you. I watched a bit more. I've watched a second episode, and the fast forward button is your friend.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's only so much of this, like set up with Koreans talking about these things. Just get to the challenges. The challenges are exciting.
The only thing that you miss in the first 30 minutes, there's lots of good one-liners.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have a great. So I didn't have a great quip because I kind of fast forwarded through a lot of that.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, it's not much more than that. Does anyone have any other good one-liners that they didn't get from their quips from the walk-ins?
I wrote down these intros suck, so that validates that.
Yeah,
There was one thing that was
some of the stuff that was there. Like there was a champion gymnast. There was somebody that won the World Firefighter Games. There was some guy named Agent H.
Yeah, H. Yeah.
H.
There's a guy who played on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
That's
Agent
the guy
H.
I missed. I missed that guy.
Yeah. Agent H, though, he's one of us. He when he looked at all the busts, he's like, I thought the production team went all out. He made that comment. I'm like, one of us.
Yeah, I actually feel like the production value of the show really hides how bad the show is. because everything looks really cool, and there's like really like it feels a lot like Squid Game. It feels really like they put a lot of money into it, but like it's kind of boring.
It is
There was-
heavy on the Squid Game vibe. Heavy.
They bring up Squid Game in the show like 3 times.
Multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're obviously pulling some Squid Game vibe. They're trying to pull the Squid Game vibes. That's what they're
The one
trying
thing that was a little throwing off, the literal opening sequence, it's like this highly like animated
Stylized.
looking style, thank you, Max, of this like very chiseled man like carving something, and it doesn't really match the vibe of the show. It's
No.
like of a misdirection.
It is a statue like carving his own abs out of marble, chiseling himself out, which I thought that was fun.
I thought it was
I
fun.
see.
I thought it was.
I
I
see.
thought it set a great tone. I thought it was like we're having a serious competition with the best people we can find. Like this is no schlub here.
And also some YouTubers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can't find 100 people like this, but like they all were really in shape. I thought.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys ever watch the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
WWE? Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
This is what the big opening reminded me of. So Royal Rumble, for those who don't know, at least it used to be 30 people come into the ring, and each one has their own introduction. They play the theme music, they run in. It had very much Korean Royal Rumble vibes.
Yeah. Some people get eliminated right away. Some people like hang out. Yeah. So they're in this
Did
Greek
wait.
bust room or whatever, and then at some point they like put on uniforms, and then they go into like what you'd win if you are the last person, and you win 300 million. Get your pinky out, won, which is $230,000 as of right now.
Yeah, not bad.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good prize money. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like 5-6 shows, something like that. Like, yeah, it's great.
9 episodes. This
Oh,
show is
9.
9 episodes. I was curious when I was in the middle of the second one how many there were. So there's 9.
Yeah, I didn't look it up until, although I had the Wikipedia up, I should have just glanced at it. But I was just doing like when they said like they're cutting 50%, I was just doing like the deduction, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah. So this is what's confusing. So they say the first quest is going to eliminate 50% of the people, and what they did, then they do this challenge, which they're hanging from this bar, and like the person at top gets the last one gets an advantage or something. This is not the first quest. This is not the first challenge. This is a pre-challenge.
I think they made that pretty clear.
Okay, I didn't get that, but Noah also looks very confused.
yeah, I didn't realize that.
No one gets eliminated
Yeah.
because of this challenge.
It's
Yeah,
a
it was just for an
pre-mission.
advantage.
Yeah, which I can explain to what that actually is in a minute, but
I get it now that you're explaining it, but no, I did not. I thought this was the challenge, and then like whoever finishes best, they get like immunity for the next one, basically.
yeah, I thought it was because like there was a section where like there was this really famous MMA fighter, like MMA champion or something, and like everyone was shaking this guy's hand when he came in, and then he gets eliminated like 27th or something. It was like, oh, he just missed the cutoff, and I thought he would be really upset and like annoyed, but he's not actually eliminated yet. So it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, so this challenge that we get to see in this episode is they hang half the people at once. They do 2 different heats, so 50 people just hanging, and the last, then they just start dropping into a pool. And I thought this was a really fun challenge. Like when they get down to the final 2, it's like really exciting. Everyone's like cheering people on, cheering like the gets down to like the Navy SEAL guy versus like a gymnast, and they like are pretty close, evenly matched to who fought like when they're gonna fall. And I thought it was really cool to see these 2 people just kind of have this cool challenge. Anyone else have any other opinions on this challenge?
Yeah, just you brought up Navy SEAL guy versus gymnast, and that kind of reminds me of like MXC Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. They have one profession versus another profession.
Yeah, that's a show I absolutely do not like.
Brian, do you see MXC?
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Noah?
I don't,
Oh
I
man,
don't remember it.
maybe we'll have to do it.
You guys can do it without me. You don't want me on that pod.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
you're-
but I thought this was a fun challenge. What I don't get is there's no way that advantage is good enough for you to put your entire upper body out of commission for like 3 days.
Yeah, I can get into a little bit more of that with spoilers of episode 2, but yes, that is. Some people thought of that.
I need to circle back a bit. We're moving along, but I had this big question in my mind. How do they actually make the plaster casts of their torsos?
Great question.
Well, it could all be the same one. Did anyone actually like comment on how this looks like them?
They were
Yes,
definitely
one guy
different.
was.
Many people.
Yeah. They either made literally a plaster mold out of these people, or they use some like 3D camera scanner or something or another.
When they break one, it definitely is only just exterior shell. It's not like a internal. So it could just be they molded it. They had people come in and mold it, which I don't know.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I was just thinking, like, there's like a real cost there, right? You have to get every one of them in. You're doing this, like,
Yeah, I'm saying the production value, like when they open up the they're like going up on this thing, and then the floor kind of like splits apart.
I was
and-
impressed.
and there's like fog underneath this like pool. Like that's money. Like that's production value.
Yep.
That's like high. Like that's what really showing on the screen right now, and I think that's the only saving grace of this show is the production value of it, including this like crazy room with all these like marble busts. Brian, you have anything?
I'm just surprised at how much like you missed. You missed a lot during that beginning part.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't do it.
It was really bad.
Dude,
But
like, I'm coming out of this thinking the show is I'm gonna be on it like fine, like it's not terrible, but that's because I fast forwarded. If I couldn't fast forward the show, I think the show would be terrible.
Of all the people who they introduced in the beginning of all 100, did anybody have any favorites or highlights they wanted to talk about?
I want to nominate somebody for the worst person.
Do it.
Some dude challenged some woman to like a 1-arm push-up challenge.
Oh
And
yeah.
like after like they did it for a little bit, he was like, "All right, you pass for now." So I'm like, "All right, we're starting real good with the sexism."
Oh yeah.
Oh, the show is very sexist. They're like,
yeah.
I'm the last woman. I gotta work harder because there's still a woman up here.
Although she was like number 4, she was killing it.
Yeah. She had
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
she's very
really
good.
interesting
Uh,
pose.
yeah, it was like put both your arms through the rungs up top, and then like loop both your arms through one of your legs, and just hold on for dear fucking life.
Very creative.
Very yeah, never seen something like that, but it seemed to work okay. Like people were copying her.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They
There were
also did the whole Netflix thing where episode 2 has the real ending for
Yeah.
episode 1.
Yeah, terrible.
it's the universal Netflix sign of you're watching Netflix.
Yeah.
There was one guy who said he was on the national bone breaking team. I'm not quite sure what that is. Did anybody else catch that?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was
I think he was
a
double
dancer.
jointed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bone breaking.
breaking ankles.
Yeah. So he was a dancer that could do like all like crazy joint movements, but he said he started the first national bone breaking team in Korea.
And the only other person I want to bring up, their stage name is Babolkup. It's just
yeah, but bulk up. Yeah, I mean,
bulk up with two B's. Babolkup.
yeah.
What a great name.
There's a lot of characters. Like there was a cop who came on, and people are like, he looks like RoboCop, which he kind of looked like Korean RoboCop, very much so. There's just like a lot of like nice lines that people shoot out there, like, "Why is everyone so fit? Everyone who works out is here." And it's like
Every
great.
Korean that's been to a gym is at this one.
That's what they said. And then there was one woman who was in the army, and she kept just saluting.
Yeah, that was her whole shtick.
Salute, salute, salute. This
All right.
is weird.
Do you guys want some spoilers from episode 2?
Sure.
I can bring this action.
Okay.
I won't spoil. We'll just talk about like some of the stuff. So like,
Oh wait, sorry. I got one more guy I got to talk about. One more
okay,
guy.
you gotta talk about one more guy.
Yeah, there's one more guy. So the guy who enters, he finished first in the strongman competition, but for some reason they list his like title instead of like strongman or firefighter. It's car dealer.
Oh,
and they introduce
yeah.
him as a car dealer, and they stick with it. I just find that hilarious.
I mean, like 5 people in the show are in the arm wrestling business. It's so much easier to like. I'm not going to remember this guy's Korean name, so I'm just going to call him the car dealer.
It's just funny because everyone else is like Olympic gold medalist gymnast,
Totally.
baseball player, car dealer.
He's
MMA fighter,
Yeah,
like light heavyweight champion.
featherweight
Yeah.
champ,
yeah, featherweight. Yeah, incredible.
super featherweight.
So the second heat, the person that won lasted for 18 minutes.
God damn.
Jeez.
yeah,
So
think-
long.
First heat was 15 minutes or so.
Wow, somebody's microphone is buzzing out.
it was mine. I could see my bars. I don't know why I did that.
Let's try to not do that. But all right, and then so what happens with this heats is they all stand up in like 2 different groups. There's a group on the floor that's 51 to 100, and then there's like the 1 through 50 is like on this elevated pedestals, so you can see who's better than the other people. But then your advantage for winning is you get to pick your opponent, and you get to the next challenge, the real first challenge,
Mm-hmm.
is a one-on-one fight to get like a ball. So at the end of 3 minutes, whoever has this ball wins, and the other person is eliminated.
Oh man.
And there's 2 different arenas. There's one arena that is a mud pit. It's like a wrestling pit. And then one arena is like kind of like a jungle gym kind of place where you can kind of run around. There's a lot of obstacles in the way. So by winning, like being number 1 through 50 or whatever, you get to choose who your opponent is and what arena you want to go in.
I'm just not sure that's worth destroying your upper
Absolutely.
body.
Absolutely not. I bet you the people on the lower have like a higher winning percentage than the people on the upper.
Mm.
Depending on like if you like, so I watched a couple of these fights,
Sure.
and if you do the wrestling one is real, it's like it just doesn't,
Grueling.
it's grueling and doesn't really work with this. You have to have the ball at the end of 3 minutes, but you're like wrestling somebody. There's like it just ends up being people holding people to like the final seconds or
And
trying
then running
to,
for it.
and then running for it.
Yeah.
And that like that's the fight. Whereas like, which also requires a lot of upper body strength, so you've used all of yours. Good luck. Whereas the other one where you get to run around is a lot more lower body strength, and running and trying to be like agile and stuff.
Yep.
And there was a really fun one where this guy. Did you guys remember some sort of zombie
Some zombie movie or something.
Yeah, he's like what do they call him? Zombie
Chore-
choreographer. or
Choreographer. That's
Yeah.
the bone breaking guy.
Yeah. Bone Breaker.
something? Yeah. He is in his first challenge, and it's really cool to watch. It's really good.
Okay.
It's probably the best challenge.
I do think it's wild that the first challenge is all 1v1. That's very intimate in a way that you don't normally see for the first challenge on any of these shows.
Well, I was watching this. I'm like, they go through 3 of these things, and I'm like, how are they going to go through 47 more of these things?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they show you the 3 most interesting ones.
I'm sure they're going to show the most interesting ones, but like, there's only 9 episodes. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but that seems like you got to eliminate 50 people. They didn't do it yet. But that was way more interesting than episode 1. But I still had to fast forward through a bunch of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I found this like hanging from the bars like not all that interesting to watch either. Kind of fast forwarded through the like that. So I don't know. That's kind of what you have to look forward to if you keep watching. Anyone have any other minutia before we get to questions?
Let me consult the books.
The books.
The books.
I
So who what was the profession of the winner of the Mission
18
Zero?
18 minutes? The 18
Yeah.
minutes guy? He's like a mountain rescue person.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Interesting. You don't really hang from bars that much in mountain rescue, but
He's like an ice climb. They like climb mountains. So like
Yeah.
you're
Definitely
hanging
good
a
for
lot
this.
when you're climbing.
ice climbers.
Definitely good. I don't know about like you keep alluding this, but they do this type of cut in the show where they loop scenes several
Yeah.
times in a row.
Oh yeah. You don't see that in American television ever. Like you'll see a scene happens where somebody falls and then you see it again from a different angle with the same audio.
Yeah, and like when the pool was opening, they kept showing like the slowly open. It's not something we've seen a lot.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't really
Yeah.
necessarily like it either.
Mm.
If that
Not a
makes
fan
any
of it.
sense.
Like anything that like is beating me over the head with their content, I'm not a fan of. Just
This
keep
whole
it in
show?
direction.
This whole show's beating you over the head.
Stop beating me over the head.
All right, let's get into some questions. Brian, you already talked about The Worst Human Being, and I don't have any other nominations. So
Maybe the editor.
the editor, yeah,
It's-
I mean,
It's really bad. Like if they edited it, like you wouldn't be seeing like the same thing repeated over and over again. You would see just better cuts, like less bullshit.
there's definitely a way better edited version of the show because I think the show has like a lot of fun content. Like to me, it feels a lot like the challenge, like the show, The Challenge, but like without all the bullshit drama and actually people wanting to compete and competing in like really fun competitions. But it's surrounded by like bullshit that's like not fun to watch.
You could definitely edit this down to a watchable mini challenge.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, okay, editor worst person. I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. There is no host, so I guess there's no APEC. We don't have anything to talk about with them.
There is a disembodied voice announcer.
Oh yeah. This circle.
Yeah, the Lana from the Circle that's Lana from Too Hot to Handle. Yeah, there's a little virtual assistant that says, "Hey, get to this room. We're doing a challenge."
There is like a Squid Game esque like referee kind of. I don't know if you saw him briefly.
Did he have a cool mask?
Yeah,
I didn't see the referee, but they were like the helpers.
yeah,
kinda
the
had,
helper
like,
guy. the helper.
the like shredder outfits on a little bit.
I think now is a good time to bring up the fact that Netflix is doing a Squid Game reality show, which apparently has its own production issues, but that's happening.
What?
Yeah, well,
What are
we'll
the
get to
production
that when that
issues?
we
Oh.
will be doing that as soon as it comes out.
Something about like some of the contestants like were left in the cold or something. I don't really know.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
thought
people were
like,
actually
they
dying.
had to cancel it. I thought like they screwed up and are like, nope, too much.
No.
Not doing it.
Well, it's unclear. I think the other complaint about that I saw about that is that like people got preferential treatment, which you can't really do in a competition show.
Mm.
No.
Anyway, back to this. Would this show be better as a Quibi or TikTok?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you split this up into 8-minute segments or, multiple 3-minute segments could be good. It could be better than whatever the fuck they're doing right now.
I
We're
think
talking about the bad editing.
you should be able to put bets on people with fake internet points, not real money. And then the TikTok edit just shows stuff that your guy or girl is involved in.
What if this was live and you could bet on it live?
What if this was live and you could bet on it and every person was a horse and you could bet on the horses?
And the only challenge was running
Running.
down the track.
Who has the best physique? Which horse can hang from bars the best?
All right, we got to do some drinking rules. Brian, you're the best at this, so give me some drinking rules.
Drink every time somebody says hi.
Brian, we're not trying to kill people.
Drink every time you see one ab. So one person means like 3 to 6.
A realistic one, I think, here is you should drink every time somebody encourages somebody else. If that's like, you're
Oh,
cheering
yeah.
people.
There's some good sportsmanship in this show.
Yeah, I think that's the sense of competition here is like, yeah, we're competing, but there's also like, hey, we're trying to like, help each other out here. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're all buds here.
Noah,
every time you see a muscle that you didn't really know existed.
you didn't know had a muscle.
Yeah, muscle in a muscle.
Brian, do you have another one?
Did we already mention with Max's like betting on like the people, you could definitely make drinking rules out of that.
Oh yeah, because the one-on-one competition, you could definitely bet on the winner.
I think that there's always gonna be competitions, and like even if it's like group competitions, you can still bet on those.
Yeah, I mean it's just hard when it's like 50 people.
Yeah,
especially now that we spoiled who won. So, which I didn't spoil who won in the one-on-one. So
that's fine.
Definitely bet on those. Who's gonna hook up next?
All of them.
The husband and wife.
Oh yeah, there is a bodybuilder husband and wife team.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty likely.
Yeah.
What if they get split up? One goes home, one doesn't.
No.
That's tough.
Well, it'll be a delayed hookup.
I think that this is like the Olympics. I think that everybody's gonna be banging.
This is Olympic Village. Do you think that? How do you think this is filmed? Are they all these challenges filmed in one day, or is it like, this is day one and then they have to go to a hotel and come back for day 2?
There's got to be recovery time in there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or they're just fucking insane.
Yeah, I guess that's the production schedule. Like, do you think this is like a week-long competition? Or is it like could be like a Great British Bake Off kind of situation where you're like every weekend you come in and you're like, oh, prepping all week for this competition. feel like that would really elevate this to the next level.
Mm.
It's like this week we're doing jujitsu, so you get like a whole week to prepare your jujitsu moves.
Yeah,
Do-
I don't.
Do we think they are testing for steroids on this show?
Absolutely not.
No.
Steroids are encouraged.
Steroids are encouraged.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm doing some cornering to see
All
if.
right, While you do that, let's do what we love about the show. Brian, what do you love about the show?
I like that it has a really good competitive view. Like I love the hell out of Ninja Warrior, and it kind of feels like that competitive edge where you want to win this, but then also like you're encouraging everybody else.
Max, what do you love about this show?
I hate to say it, the core idea of who has the most well-rounded physique is a really interesting question. Who'd have thought, the gymnast would be top 3?
I love the camaraderie in the show, and I love the editing, the like production value of the show. I think the busts are really fun. The like room setup's really fun. The like every like set piece is very good. I think they did a great job. Noah, what do you love about the show?
I like that usually in these competition shows, I mean, it's kind of we touch on that. They usually don't pair so dissimilar type of people, and here, like, I think it's super interesting. Like, you really are taking people in many different peaks and putting them together.
Did you figure out the production schedule, Noah?
I only found one article that was basically guessing like we were guessing, and they also came to conclusion of a week.
There we go. We're pros. We're professionals here.
We
All
are.
right, so we have a stack ranking system between top, middle, and bottom third. We rate this show against other reality shows. Some people might stack rank in their stack ranks.
Mm.
Brian,
Mm.
what do you got for me?
I gotta put it in the bottom of the middle. I might check out some more, but it is very much a background show for me.
How do you background? Wait, did you guys watch this in Korean with English subtitles, or did you watch it in English?
Oh, that's a good question. I started out with like the English voices, and then I switched over to Korean with the subtitles. Like, I don't think that it changed much, though, to be honest.
I bet you 100% Max watched this Korean with English subtitles.
Yeah, fucking guilty.
Yeah, I went back and forth a little bit, but stuck with English. When I was watching, I was a little too tired to keep reading the subtitles, so I put in English.
I definitely watched with Korean with subtitles, but it is definitely not interesting enough, I think, to read the subtitles.
Do we think they got 100 different voice actors for all the different people?
It's just one person that can do 100 voices.
They
Hello.
didn't,
Hi.
and that was the wild
Hello.
thing. Like,
did
they
or
had
didn't?
several, and it was just they swapped in between. Like, oh, like you're male, females, and like you had 2 males talking. Okay,
Yeah.
do those.
I'm sure they had one guy that can do 75 voices and one girl that can do 45 voices. Max, what do you got for me?
This was a little slow, but it was fine. I'm gonna say middle third, top of the middle.
Noah, what do you got for me?
Similar. I actually really like the show, but it moves annoyingly slow. For what it gets accomplished. Like, this is a show that's not made for Netflix. This is made for normal linear TV, and with Netflix, you expect them to cut the shit, but they didn't. And so, if it wasn't for the shit, it would be a top show. But there's too much shit, so it's a middle show, but top of the middle.
I love the description there. I'm also, so if you're gonna watch this show without the fast forward button, it's a bottom third show. If you're gonna watch the show with the fast forward button, then it's a middle third show. I think it's the first episode and a half. I think you could just skip and just go right to the one-on-one, and the one-on-ones are very exciting. Just watch that. Then it might be a top third show. Like, I think that segment was really fun. It reminds me a lot of the best parts of the challenge, which is people competing one-on-one and like really giving it their all. And I would encourage you to do that. That's what I would do. And that's it. Let us know what you thought about this show on Twitter at Who Put This On. Let us know if you watched it in Korean or English, or if you agree with me that the first episode and a half is not good. Let me know. Let us know on Twitter at Who Put This On. Let's do some shout outs. So we've been gone for a while, so we've been watching a lot of stuff. But I know Brian and I have been keeping up with our favorite show, MILF Manor.
Oh yes.
And the show is a disaster to watch, which makes it, I think, compelling for me. There definitely seems to be some like grooming action going on, and that's not great. We got our first hookup. It only took like 7 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I can't believe it took so long to get this hookup to happen. But like, there's a lot of mom cock blocking going on in the show. And it's still such a weird dynamic with like the moms encouraging the sons to hook up with the other moms, or not hook up with the other moms, or not hook up with this. Like, it's great. You should watch this show.
Oh, good Lord.
and Pornhub, you should definitely steal this idea. There needs to be a Pornhub version of this for sure.
Somebody's already on.
Wait, do you think they're gonna go in? Do you think they're gonna go into serial content, or maybe they? Should. I don't know. Is that like the paid section, or like
I don't know. I don't know. Pornhub can do whatever it wants, but I think a version of this show where it like turns into like more of a porno would be interesting.
I wonder if there's a version of Who Put This On for porn.
One each week, a new one.
Yeah, it's just like what millionth of porn did you watch this? Like they released this week, you know?
Every niche, like take a drink every time, you know, like that.
All right, on Noah's next podcast. Noah, do you have any shout outs?
Tip of the hat to Maxim. Watched White Lotus season 1, season 2 pretty quick, and yeah, very enjoyable. I liked season 1 better than season 2. Season 1 felt a lot more original, a lot more real. Season 2 felt a lot more like overly dramatic, overly soapy, like sex, drugs, money. Like it was like a little too much on the nose. But great acting, so enjoyable to watch. I'm excited to see what they do for season 3.
Why does Noah get the shout out there? I've said White Lotus was great for forever. Listen to all these podcasts I made.
I mean, Max, I think he made a big deal of like, how did you not watch it yet?
Yeah, I made a big deal.
He shamed you.
Yeah.
So I didn't shame you. That's why.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
All right, Max. Any shout outs?
Shout out to the country of India. That's a cool place. Shout out to Japan. Great country. Yeah.
Which one's better?
Gonna have to go with Vatican City on that.
I was really expecting you to plead the fifth on that, but that's also a good answer.
Send us tweets at which country is best and fill up our comments.
Brian,
Are we gonna stack rank every country
against other countries?
Top third.
That's our next podcast.
My shout out is a interesting one. So I've been watching the Taskmaster Australia. It's their first season, and it has started out really poorly. It has gotten semi-better as it's continued through the season. I'm gonna watch it till the end,
What
but
a shout out.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
strong.
I mean, it's
strong
like,
words.
It's a warning one. Don't immediately assume that Taskmaster is gonna be good. Like other ones from other countries have been pretty good. This one needs some work.
Hear that, Australia? Get your shit together. you're in the bottom third of our country to country rating right now.
New Zealand top third.
Yeah, obviously New Zealand's top. That's for sure. I'll end on a shout out to The Leftovers. So I'm finally watching The Leftovers, and it is really good. I think that shows are never about religion, and it's kind of really interesting to see this human. It feels really human to have this experience that everyone had, and it's kind of like the Marvel. It's kind of like the Snap, but real. And how people would really react to a situation like that, and how people would turn to religion or not turn to religion, or how you would handle knowing people had disappeared and didn't know where they went or why they happened, and is very interesting. I think it's very compelling television, and yeah, I highly encourage that if you've never seen it. And that's it for us this week. Tell us what you thought about what country is better at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. Email us questions and suggestions at WhoPutThisOn@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.